Two people can use the exact same AI model. One gets a mediocre answer, the other gets something brilliant. The difference between them is not the AI, it is the prompt, and that difference has become an actual job title.
So, let me ask you, have you ever asked AI for something, maybe a quick summary, an email draft, or even a line of code, and gotten a completely useless answer back? Yeah, we've all been there. It's super frustrating, right? You're sitting there wondering, is the AI just having a bad day, or is this whole technology completely overrated? But here's the real secret. The AI didn't change at all. The instructions did. You see, the model is incredibly powerful, but it doesn't read our intentions the way another human being would. It just follows patterns. And if you don't give it the absolute right pattern to follow, well, it simply guesses.
Think of it kind of like ordering coffee at a really busy, crowded cafe. The barista's moving fast. If you just walk up and shout, "Coffee," you might get something, but it's probably not going to be exactly what you wanted. But if you go up and say, "I'd like a double shot espresso with just a splash of oat milk," your chances of getting that perfect cup shoot right up. The espresso machine is exactly the same in both scenarios. The order didn't magically create better coffee out of thin air. It just shaped the outcome. It bridged that critical gap between what you intended and the final product you actually received.
Now, to really understand how this works, we've got to dismantle a pretty common myth. A prompt is absolutely not a magic spell. It's not some secret hacker command code that suddenly unlocks hidden intelligence deep inside the machine. Really, a prompt is just a pattern cue. It sets the stage for what's about to happen. When you type in "once upon a time," you're naturally nudging the model toward writing a story. Basically, a prompt is just the instruction or the question that you give to an AI system to get it to produce a desired output. That's the whole shebang. And that leads us right into the actual practice itself. Prompt engineering is the deliberate system of steering a model using language to make its behavior much more predictable and honestly a lot more useful. It's really the practice of designing clear, structured instructions so you get consistent, high-quality results every single time. Honestly, it's a lot less like barking a direct order at a computer and way more like being a movie director giving instructions to a highly talented but maybe just a little bit clueless actor.
Okay, so let's dive into this. A truly effective prompt, the kind of prompt that genuinely separates a total beginner from a seasoned professional, relies on three hidden forces. We're talking about context, direction, and constraints. If even one of these is missing, sure, your output might still be okay, but it's going to be entirely out of your control. Let's look at how each of these forces acts as a really critical support beam for your requests.
So the first force we have is context. Remember, the model literally cannot read your mind. All it sees is text. So if you just ask it to explain sales, it has to completely guess who it's talking to. But if you say, explain sales to a brand new retail employee, boom, you've just given it a specific situation. It's exactly like handing a mechanic the detailed history of your car before they start tinkering under the hood, so they aren't just in there guessing blind.
Next up is direction. Direction totally removes the guesswork by telling the AI exactly what kind of response you're actually looking for. Like, do you need a quick summary? Are you looking for a bulleted list of ideas? Or maybe a formal rewrite of an email? It's kind of like taking a flashlight and pointing it into one very specific corner of a dark room. Without that direction, the AI might give you something that is technically relevant, but practically completely useless to you.
And the third force is constraints. Listen, language models naturally just want to keep talking. They will ramble on endlessly if you let them. So constraints are your limits, things like word count, specific tone, or a strict format. Think of constraints like the edge of a soup bowl. Without that edge, your soup just spreads everywhere and makes a huge mess on the table. But with the edge, the soup stays perfectly contained and is actually ready to consume.
Now, these three forces build into this hidden trade-off when it comes to prompt engineering. It's all about finding the balance between freedom and focus. If you give the AI way too much freedom, it just wanders off, and the output feels super generic. But on the flip side, if you give it too much restriction, it becomes super rigid, and the output feels boxed in and weirdly robotic. True prompting skill is really about the delicate art of finding that sweet spot, giving just enough shape so the model can aim correctly.
Which brings us to a major shift in how you should really view your interactions with AI. When an output fails, an amateur is always going to blame the machine. But a skilled prompter stops and asks, wait, is the problem the model itself, or is it the way my request was shaped? We really have to shift our mindset from treating AI like some random guessing game to treating it more like a strict debugging discipline. A failed output is usually just a failure in our own diagnosis.
You see, a skilled prompt engineer basically acts as a diagnostician. They'll look at a bad output and ask themselves, okay, is the model confused about the core task here? Does it just need a bit more context? Did I maybe ask for way too many things all at once? They fix those little frictions by repeatedly adjusting the context and the constraints until the answer fits perfectly. Because at the end of the day, good prompting is often just good diagnosis made visible through language.
Let's ground this in reality for a second. Imagine a really busy customer support team using AI to draft replies for clients who are frustrated about delayed deliveries. Now, if the prompt just says, write a reply, the AI is going to output something polite, but probably completely generic and super cold. But if the prompt actually frames the task, specifying the customer's frustration, giving the exact context of the shipping delay, and demanding a calm, respectful tone, the AI now operates inside a clear frame. The output instantly becomes highly empathetic and, more importantly, immediately usable.
So, this all leads us to the macro-level question that everyone in the tech world is furiously debating right now. You've probably seen the job postings, right? You've definitely heard all the hype, but is prompt engineering actually a real, standalone, sustainable career? Or is it just a temporary trend that's going to vanish the second these AI models get inherently smarter?
Well, the absolutely crucial point here is this. While prompt engineering definitely does exist as a standalone role in some very specialized tech environments, for the rest of us, it is primarily something much, much more important. It is a force multiplier. It's a vital, everyday skill that strengthens almost every other job on the planet. It's the marketer writing much better campaigns, the analyst structuring way deeper insights, and the product lead exploring new options 10 times faster. It is absolutely not about tricking the AI. It is entirely about amplifying human capability. Every concept in this series, memory, retrieval, workflows, automation, all of it depends on one underlying skill, knowing how to direct AI with precision. That skill is not going away. It is becoming the foundation of how humans and AI work together.